Unbelievable developments are shaking up the basketball world right now. And if you're a Warriors fan, or just someone who lives for NBA drama, you're going to want to stay locked in because this story is wild, unexpected, and honestly kind of genius if you really think about it. Imagine waking up and hearing that the Warriors, a team already packed with championship DNA, just made a move that nobody saw coming. We're talking about Reggie Jackson. Yes, that Reggie Jackson suddenly becoming part of the conversation in Golden State. And what makes this even crazier is the ripple effect it's already having across the locker room, especially with Jimmy Butler showing confidence and Kai Sotto stepping up with public belief. There's a lot to unpack here, so let's break it all down, piece by piece, because this might be one of those moves we look back on later and say, yeah, that's when everything changed. So here's the situation. The Warriors have always been known for their calculated risks. They don't just chase big names, they look for fits, for chemistry, for players who can plug into their system and elevate it without disrupting the flow. And Reggie Jackson, despite being a veteran who's bounced around the league, brings something that this team quietly needed: experience under pressure, ball handling stability, and the ability to create his own shot when things get messy. Now, is he the same explosive player he once was? Maybe not. But what he does have is something that doesn't fade easily: composure in big moments. And if you've watched the Warriors during tight games recently, you know that's something they could definitely use more of. What's making this story even more interesting is the reaction from around the league. Jimmy Butler, known for being brutally honest and not easily impressed, reportedly has a lot of confidence in this move. That alone should make people pay attention. Butler isn't the type to throw praise around casually. If he sees value in this kind of addition, it means there's something deeper here than just adding another name to the roster. It suggests that Reggie Jackson might actually be in a position to contribute in meaningful ways, especially in playoff-style situations where every possession matters and mental toughness becomes everything. And then there's Kai Sotto, who has been steadily building his presence and reputation. His reaction to this situation adds another layer to the story because it shows how younger players are viewing this move. Instead of seeing it as competition or a threat, there's a sense of belief. Almost like this is the kind of veteran presence that can help guide and elevate the entire group. That kind of mentality is huge for team culture. When younger players embrace experienced additions instead of resisting them, it creates an environment where everyone is pulling in the same direction. Now let's talk about the bigger picture, because this isn't just about one player joining a team. This is about timing. The Warriors are at a point where every move matters more than ever. They're balancing the legacy of their core with the urgency to remain competitive in a league that's getting younger, faster, and more unpredictable by the day. Adding someone like Reggie Jackson could be seen as a low-risk, high-reward decision. If it works, it gives them another reliable option in the rotation. If it doesn't, they haven't sacrificed much. But based on early reactions and the confidence being shown by key figures, there's a growing belief that this could actually pay off in a big way. One thing that stands out is how this move aligns with the Warriors' identity. They've always valued players who understand spacing, ball movement, and decision-making. Reggie Jackson isn't just a scorer. He's someone who can read the floor, adapt to different situations, and keep the offense flowing. In a system that thrives on unpredictability and quick decisions, that kind of skill set can be incredibly valuable. It's not about dominating the ball. It's about knowing when to take over and when to facilitate. And that balance is something that can make or break games at the highest level. There's also the psychological aspect of this move, which a lot of people overlook. Bringing in a veteran like Jackson sends a message to the rest of the team and the league. It says that the Warriors are not content with standing still. They're still looking for ways to improve, to adapt, to stay one step ahead. That kind of mindset can be contagious. It can push players to elevate their own performance because they know the organization is doing everything it can to put them in a position to succeed. And let's be real for a second. The NBA is as much about narratives as it is about talent. Stories drive momentum, and momentum can shift everything. Right now, this move has created a new narrative around the Warriors. Instead of questions about whether they can keep up with the evolving league, people are starting to talk about how they're still finding ways to innovate and stay relevant. That shift in perception can have a real impact, not just on fans and media, but on the players themselves. Another angle to consider is how Reggie Jackson fits into late-game situations. Those moments when the pace slows down, defenses tighten, and every possession feels like a chess match. Having another player who can create his own shot or make smart decisions under pressure can be the difference between winning and losing. The Warriors have had games slip away because they didn't have enough options in those moments. Adding Jackson gives them another layer of security, another player who isn't afraid of the spotlight. But of course, not everyone is completely sold on this move, and that's fair. There are always questions when a team brings in a veteran who's had an up-and-down career. Consistency has been an issue at times, and adapting to a new system isn't always easy, especially one as unique as the Warriors. But that's where coaching and team culture come into play. If there's any organization that knows how to integrate players and maximize their strengths, it's this one. They've done it before, and there's no reason to think they can't do it again. What really makes this situation compelling is the combination of confidence and belief surrounding it. Jimmy Butler's confidence adds credibility. Kai Sotto's faith adds energy. And the Warriors' track record adds legitimacy. When you put all of that together, it creates a sense that this isn't just a random move. It feels intentional, calculated, and potentially impactful. And here's something people might not be talking about enough: motivation. Reggie Jackson has every reason to prove himself right now. Joining a team with championship expectations puts him in a position where every performance matters. That kind of pressure can either break a player or bring out their best. If it's the latter, the Warriors could end up with a player who's playing with a chip on his shoulder, determined to show that he still belongs at a high level. Fans are already buzzing about what this could mean for the rotation, the lineups, and the overall dynamic of the team. There's curiosity, excitement, and a bit of skepticism all mixed together. But that's what makes moments like this so interesting. It's the uncertainty, the possibility, the idea that something unexpected could turn into something special. So where does this all lead? That's the big question. Is this the move that quietly strengthens the Warriors and gives them an edge when it matters most? Or is it just another experiment that doesn't quite pan out? Right now, it's impossible to say for sure. But what we do know is that the ingredients are there for something intriguing. A veteran with experience, a team with a proven system, and a locker room that seems ready to embrace the change. As the season unfolds, all eyes are going to be on how this plays out. Every game, every minute, every decision will be analyzed. And if Reggie Jackson starts to find his rhythm and contribute in meaningful ways, don't be surprised if the narrative shifts even more dramatically. What started as an unbelievable move could quickly become one of the smartest decisions of the season. And that's why you have to keep watching, because in the NBA,